Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Esther Perez and I recently went on a trip to Cancun and it was about $1,300 USD per person. And so I have to tell you all if it was really worth it. So I really love in my videos to be super transparent with you all. And so I'm gonna go through all of the different things like how did I book, what was the flight experience like, what was the food like, what was the resort like, the rooms, and then towards the end I'll give you the negatives, the cons of the experience. But I do want to reiterate, I went on this trip for $1,300 a person, all included, which means your flight, your stay, your food, your drinks. Everything included in that price. We went for 4 nights in Cancun. So for starters, the flight experience. We flew Southwest and I was able to book this trip through Southwest Vacations. And I will say the flight was great. I am actually a Rapids Rewards member, so I didn't have to pay for my one suitcase. Neither did my husband because he's also a Rapids Rewards member. And so it was nice to get that one suitcase for free, included in the trip. The flight itself was pretty long. We flew first to, I believe, the DC airport, and then from there we went to Cancun. So it was a lengthy day, but I have no complaints about the travel itself. The Southwest flights were fine, and I got to hang out in the lounge at one point, so it was totally okay. And the lounge I was in was just the regular like priority pass. That's not through Southwest. I have that through my Amex membership. So just wanted to point that out so you didn't think there was a lounge with Southwest. Now for the resort itself, we stayed at RIU Latino in Cancun, which is an adults only resort. This was actually my second time there. I am a fan of the resort overall when it comes to the price. I think for the price you're paying for the all-inclusive trip, it's a pretty decent experience. There's several dining options. You have like an Asian spot, a steakhouse, an Italian spot, and then like a general like American spot, and then the buffet. So there's a lot of dining options, I would say similar to other resorts as well. They had a lobby bar, they had drinks you can order when you're out to eat, they had drinks you could order by the pool. There was drinks everywhere, including in the rooms as well. Each room, I think because it's an adults only resort, had like its own drink station, and the fridge was full with drinks and mixers as well. And those are all included in the stay as well. It's not like when you stay at a hotel in the US where you don't want to touch anything in the fridge because you might like bankrupt your family. But I thought it was really nice to have all of that included as well. The room was great. We actually got upgraded. We arrived like around 4:35ish to the resort, and I feel like that might be part of the reason why we were upgraded. I think most people arrive like noon or earlier than that, and so I think arriving late, they were like, this room is, available and it's probably not going to be taken up. So they upgraded us to ocean view. We were set up in a garden room view, and so that upgrade was really nice. I'm usually not someone that needs to book like the nicest looking room. I am definitely that friend you can travel with and we all just like pile up in one room for the sake of travel and to save some money. So no shame in that if you're a traveler like that. So it is nice though when they upgrade you. Would I have paid like the full price? I think it was like a couple $100 on the Southwest website when I was first booking to have an ocean view room. Probably not, but the upgrade was really great and the room turned out really beautiful. Now let's talk about some hidden costs that I experienced that are not in that 1,300 total when it comes to this trip. And I would say tips. Tips are something that are really appreciated, I think, when you're in Mexico and in those all-inclusive resorts. You can tip in USD and there's usually not an issue with that. And so we did take like $100 extra in cash to tip the like bartenders, servers, things like that. They're definitely not something that's expected and it's not included in the price, but it is something that my husband and I really like to do. I just think like when you tip, one, you're tipping because the service was good, and then two, usually like the workers there become familiar with who's a tipper and who's not, and so I feel like I get better service when I am tipping. But just something to note that, if you are planning a trip, I would say make sure you take a couple dollars in cash just so you can have it handy in case you need to tip someone who showed really great service. We also went on a private excursion with our family. We did a boat tour over to La Isla Mujeres from Cancun with our family. It was about 9 of us, where we got a private boat. We had a driver take us from RIU Latino to the port. The port, we hopped on the boat, and then from the boat to the isla, and then we got to come back with that. And so that was about a little over $1,000. Like I said, that was something extra that we wanted to do. You don't have to do that if you're in the area. You could certainly stay on the resort the whole time. There's a lot to do on the resort, especially if you're only going for 4 nights. So that was something extra that we wanted to do, and so I did want to throw that out there. Now for the honest review. And I will say, I feel a little scared because the last time I gave an honest review, it was on the cruise that I attended, and the comments were wild. Some people were like agreeing with me, and other people were like, oh my God, you're entitled, yada, yada, yada. I will say, when I'm reviewing, it's because I paid for this trip. I'm not getting paid to go to these places. I'm paying out of my own pocket to attend these areas. And so I want to make sure I'm being honest with you all in case you're planning a trip there, just to save you maybe the dollars wasted because I know we're all hardworking for our money and to pay for these vacations. So let's get to the honest part. Okay, what part of the trip was not great? I'm gonna start with something that wasn't even included in that 1,300 price, and that was the excursion I did to La Isla Mujeres. I can make a whole different video on that, but if you're planning on doing an excursion, I would maybe warn you about the way you can do that excursion. La Isla Mujeres excursion was like fun for the boat sake of it, but the actual island itself was really touristy. The food was not good. Like, I'm not even like the biggest seafood fan, but I feel like I was expecting some good seafood if I'm on an island, and it was mediocre. Their island beach was also filled with seaweed. We went to the North Beach, and we were told that was like the prettiest beach there, filled with seaweed. It didn't even look like they were trying to clean it up. They were so worried about just charging you for your umbrella and for your chairs that they like must have forgot to also pick up the seaweed. So I will say the seaweed is something that was prominent even on the beach in RIU Latino's beach area, but it didn't bother me there as much because I mean, we're not paying for the seats to sit out by the beach there at RIU Latino. So I would say if you're wanting to enjoy the beach, enjoy it there at the resort that you're paying for. I would not pay to go off to another beach where there might be a lot of seaweed. And I do want to point out, seaweed is something that's like seasonal and nothing they can control. What they can control is the cleanup, and it did not look like they were trying to clean it up at all on La Isla. I would have rather rented the boat and stayed on the boat the whole time and just like docked it and then went like swimming around in the ocean, which is what we did towards the end of the trip, but I would have done that the entire trip rather than battling, with the touristy stuff on La Isla. Okay, going back to the resort. So this was for the dining. I would say the dining review is that the food is not great. Keep in mind, you're going to an all-inclusive resort. They're mass, creating these dishes and these food items. And so if you're a foodie and you're expecting some good Mexican food, don't go to an all-inclusive resort. Don't do it. You'll be very disappointed. If you're someone that is okay with food that's like mid and maybe one really good spot, go to an all-inclusive resort, because I always feel like there's one really good spot at these resorts, whether it's like the Japanese hibachi spot or the Italian spot. There's always one that's like really good. And so with this resort, I felt like the Asian dining spot was the best. The noodles were so good. The meat tasted so good. I could have ate there every night. I just thought it was really well flavored and super seasoned. And as someone who, I can't say Asian style food is my favorite. I would say Mexican food is my favorite. That was my favorite during that time there. I thought it was so good. The steakhouse was really disappointing. I do have to call that out. If you're trying to go to like a good steakhouse, I would not recommend this resort be the one that you go to. I would compare it to like a Texas Roadhouse steak, or maybe even like lesser than. I am someone that loves a good steak, so I'm a tough critic. But yeah, I wouldn't say that it was like a top tier steakhouse. If you're looking for a good steakhouse, the resort Majestic Elegance had a good steakhouse, but I'll cover that another time. The spa prices were high, and I don't have any footage, I think, of like the menu with the pricing. So I'm just going based off my memory, but I remember I went to look because I thought like, oh, it could be super relaxing to do this. And no, the spa prices were really high. So I would say that's definitely a negative about this resort. And the drinks, if you're someone that really wants like a crafted cocktail experience, I would say lower your standards a little bit at this all-inclusive resort, and maybe all the other ones, because at these resorts you can get all the drinks you want and you can order any drink. The bartenders can make anything. I will say like they have like a very good idea of what every drink is that someone might order. You can get like mudslide, old fashioned, mocktails, martinis. I'm like forgetting all the alcohol. Palomas. Margaritas. You can get all of the basic drinks is what I'm trying to remember and get at. You can order all the basic drinks and the bartenders can make it all. Now, whether it's like a nice crafted cocktail or not, like that's what I'm getting to, is that it'll typically lean on the not side, but it will still very much have the alcohol, the flavors, the basics of the drink. And so keep that in mind when you're going to these places. And the cool thing is it's all included. So let's say they make a drink that's not as strong as you'd like, order a double next time. You'll be fine. Overall, for 4 nights in Cancun with the flight, the food, the stay included, I think $1,300 was really great. I think it's such a nice weekend getaway, and I'm really happy we got to go on it. I'm happy that we got the upgrade. I would certainly go back to RIU Latino. I think it's a really fun adults only resort. And so if you're looking into it, if you're thinking like, is it worth it or not? I would go on the side of yes, it is worth it, but make sure you're just keeping in mind that you're not going to get like gourmet food and crafted cocktails. You'll still have a great experience. So those are my honest thoughts and on if it was worth it to go to RIU Latino in Cancun for $1,300 all included. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I really love to talk to you guys, and stay tuned for more content around Cancun. It's also been a year since my wedding in Cancun. So I'll need to make a video about a year later and what my thoughts are on Cancun and what's been going on at that Majestic Elegance resort. So don't forget to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys. Thanks.